Welcome to Poomsae with Master AJ. Today's topic is tips for video competition. Video competitions are on the rise right now, and for good reason too. We want to make sure we're staying safe and we're staying healthy and not passing around our germs and getting coronavirus everywhere. So we're going to switch to this whole virtual world and really focus on these online competitions for now. As a coach, I notice that my athletes are struggling with how to produce their A-game performance when there's no crowd, there's no judges, it's just them and a camera and usually somebody behind the camera, and that makes it a little bit awkward for them. One of the feedbacks that I get is that it's hard for them to mentally focus, or sometimes it's just too boring. So here are some tips to kind of help with that. The first one is to, of course, pretend it's an actual competition. So I recently competed in an online event and I had to really focus on trying to treat it like a competition. I did my normal morning routine that I would at a competition. I tried to make sure that I ate the right foods that I did at a competition. I had the same warm-up. I did everything that I would do at a competition, but here. That really helps you stay focused and stay in the zone to treat it like an actual competition. You don't want to treat it like any other day or practice day because you may not take it as serious. Okay, tip number 2, try to focus a spot on the wall. One of the complaints that I have from my athletes is looking at the camera is really awkward, especially if you're not used to it. So what I have always done in the past is instead of looking at the camera, I'll look past the camera at something on the wall and focus on that. But it has to be something small. You don't want to focus on a big thing like a flag or a banner or anything like that. I focus on the smallest things possible. So remember, the object that you focus on has to be small in order to maintain that tight face the entire time. Otherwise, it's easy to kind of misplace where you're at and just look at the camera and then get awkward and shy. And so you want to make sure that you're treating it the same way you would a competition. The third tip I have is to visualize. Visualizing is very, very important in Poomsae, but even more so than now, it is extremely important. You want to make sure that you can execute your form with your eyes closed, and you can also visualize what you're doing while you're doing it. Okay, so I have my students practice their form with their eyes closed. That way they can kind of see themselves doing it and really feel what their body is doing. I also have them sit down and close their eyes and visualize themselves doing the form the way they want to do it. So if I want to see more power, I'll tell my student, hey, you need to close your eyes, you need to sit down, think about doing your form, picture yourself doing your form, but this time be extremely explosive. I have to see a lot of power when you do it. And you can see their faces get this real serious, intense, their eyebrows are knitted together, and you can see their shoulders start to move because they're visualizing how much power they're putting in their form. The same thing here. You want to visualize yourself doing your form at a competition. So think back to the last competition that you did really well in, and try to visualize and picture yourself there again. So for me, my last competition that was a live competition was way back last year in Italy when I competed at the university games. So I would try to picture the crowd, I would try to picture the judges, anything that I can remember that was physically there, I want to try to visualize that for an upcoming competition that's on video. That's going to help me get myself into the zone and really get my adrenaline up to perform my absolute best that I would at a competition. So again, visualizing is key. The other flip side to visualizing is you can visualize yourself putting on a performance in front of a camera and it being an ideal performance. For me, that's not the most ideal because I'll just end up performing subpar. I'd have to perform for a crowd for me to really shine. So I would picture that type of visualization instead. For other people, they have to visualize themselves in front of a camera giving a good, solid routine. So you might want to try that. So play around with what you're doing. My fourth and final tip is to practice getting videoed a lot. It's going to help you be more comfortable in front of the camera to where you don't think of it as an awkward thing to stare at. You're thinking of it as a tool to either help you improve or help showcase something that you're doing. So again, my fourth one is to just practice in front of the camera. Record yourself often.
So a few years ago when I was working with my recognized Poomsae coach, I was really insecure about the videos that I was sending. I would spend quite a few hours just refilming and refilming and refilming until I was satisfied to send her the videos. But over time, I got a lot of practice in front of the camera, and so I was able to start doing less recording and just send her my first or second take based off of how I was doing. So I improved over time by practicing in front of the camera.
So you have to get used to putting that pressure on yourself to perform well in front of a camera. All right, that's it for today's Poomsae with Master AJ. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned something on how to better prepare yourself for these video competitions so that you can perform your absolute best for when it counts. We'll see you next time. Bye.